Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. Welcome to our new morning show, Bulimic Ditch Liquor and the Beanie Boy.
Yeah. Remember for a while I was using Dick Pinch as
Yes,
my name,
yes.
my login name for Zoom. I think it's going to be Bone Smoker now. That's
We
Get ready.
are changing the name of the show to Bulimic Ditch Liquor and Beanie Boy.
Yeah, and see, the problem is then I'm going to do like a serious Zoom call later on with like my accountant or something, and my name's going to come up Bone Smoker.
Dick Pinch.
Because that happened a bunch of times with Dick Pinch. When I was Dick Pinch on Zoom, I would do like a regular with my cousin or my uncle or something like that. And, oh, here I'm Dick Pinch. Good to meet you.
Oh God, because we're now in the new despicable Jesse Waters era. But I miss that idiot Bill O'Reilly. He fell for everything, right?
Dick Pinch, Clear Lake, Iowa.
That's it.
All right,
Pinch,
sorry,
Clear
Bob.
Lake, Iowa. Yeah, and by the way, that clip that you played coming out of the commercial of that guy with the accent talking about lesbians or whatever he's
bald-headed lesbians. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
with the nose rings.
I guess we're now back in that era of people doing parodies of callers from that movie Talk Radio with Eric Bogosian.
Right.
That guy, that sounded exactly like something out of that movie. If you haven't seen Talk Radio with Eric Bogosian, it's a great movie
Really
about
good.
radio.
Yeah.
And every single caller sounds like that guy, and it's terrifying. You expect, like, Stephanie's opening up a box that has, like, a Nazi flag in it and a rat, it's just chain smoking.
By the way, Chris, it should be Bulimic Ditch Liquor and the Bone Smoking Beanie Boy.
Right.
Pardon me.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Dick
Good at
Liquor
it.
and Bone Smoker in the morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Our new radio team.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, Bob, you retweeted the cartoon Evolution of the GOP of Nixon, I am not a crook, and Trump just going, I'm a crook, so what? And you just said 76 million Americans, yeah, so what? I mean, our friend, Joe Walsh said something like that, like, yeah, I blame Merrick Garland, but you blame the 76 million people that went, yeah, okay. They saw the same things we did, right? I mean, even if you, I get it, the disinformation, they believe him, that all was a witch hunt, all of these juries, his peers. But, at the end of the day, they saw January 6th with their own eyes, right?
Right. And we're back in this place again where we were 5, 6, 7 years ago, where we're talking about how there need to be serious reforms for the presidency, reeling in executive power. And I think if you were to get in your time-traveling DeLorean and go back to 1776 and explain to the founders, what do you think? Should the president be immune from prosecution? Should the president be able to just take office even though he's been convicted of 34 felony counts? Should this president have all charges dropped against them? And they would go, well, what are you talking about? This is exactly what we're fighting against. This is the sort of thing that we're opposed to, and you should not do that, future people with your weird-looking silver car. And so this is something that needs to, because first of all, Donald Trump shouldn't be allowed to be inaugurated, given the fact that he's been adjudicated as an insurrectionist. That disqualifies him.
You
and Congress
retweeted
needs to vote to ameliorate that.
You retweeted Lawrence Tribe, but it's just the fact that we live in a world where we know, like, oh, well, that won't matter, right? I mean, Lawrence Tribe said not that anyone's going to do anything about it, but it might be good to remember that as an educated, oath-breaking insurrectionist, Mr. Trump is constitutionally disqualified under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment from taking the oath. But, that's the problem, Bob, is I feel like even Glenn Kirschner yesterday is like, well, we have a king, right, at least for now. Yeah. We don't live in a land of, Yeah,
I think we all who follow politics understand that there are certain traditions and norms of the presidency and American government that kind of hold everything together. It's this gigantic loophole that Donald Trump is consistently exploiting because he sees those norms and traditions as, well, they're not laws, they're not rules. Right. I can just walk right through them. Doesn't matter. And so we're seeing that time and time again where the deference and to the extent that we're criticizing Merrick Garland, Merrick Garland has significant deference, even though he was the first attorney general to charge a former president with crimes. That's an important factor here, or to prosecute a former president. the fact of the matter is that there's way too much deference when it comes to obvious
Yeah.
criminals,
I mean,
obvious
you
con
know,
men.
Bob Root pundit a point too. He said, "I'll never get over the idea an old memo at the Department of Justice is what allowed Trump to get away with insurrection and stealing top secret documents. Not a law, not a trial. He's very filthy.
Yeah.
God memo. It's really the stupidest, most bureaucratic way for this country to die. I mean, it really is treated
Yeah.
like a memo says."
Yeah. There's lots of OLC memos. I found one that said, a president can be prosecuted for the same crimes that they were impeached and acquitted for. So if the president gets impeached in the House, goes to the Senate, they get acquitted in the Senate, they can still be charged after they leave office. There's an OLC memo that says that.
Yeah.
Obviously now, I guess the Supreme Court supersedes that. If it's part of official duties, it doesn't matter. But it should matter. This is what, again, this is what the United States was founded to push back against, this sort of untouchable executive post that now has been, as I said, exploited by
and you know
known
that
con man.
Donald Trump would wipe his ass with a memo. He wouldn't,
Yeah,
you know,
of course, he has no respect for any of this stuff. He has no
Yeah.
respect for the traditions and norms of the presidency. We knew that from day one. And so that's why I think we missed an opportunity in this previous 4 years. Obviously, we did the Electoral Count Act, but there needs to be more guardrails established for the presidency. I don't care if it's a constitutional amendment or something,
and can I
defining the boundaries very clearly and making sure that there are repercussions for presidents who step across those boundaries.
And can I just say, Tristan Snell said a jury convicted Trump on 34 felony counts. Grand juries voted on all 4 indictments of Trump. Juries of citizens like you and me. They saw the evidence and said the cases were legit. All of that democratic accountability now just gets wiped away. We will never forget. I mean, we're going to be the keepers of this time in history, right? When Trump tries to erase all of it from the history books, right?
That's what's so important, especially given the fact that Donald Trump and the MAGA movement is in power right now, that we hold fast to the things that we know to be true, to the facts of this period of time, and make sure that posterity understands what we've all gone through, and that this group that's in office right now is going to be in office doesn't revise things as they so often do. And we need to make sure that doesn't happen.
There it is, my first drink of the day, Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. Many of you know my story. I stopped drinking wine for 3 years during COVID, during the lockdown as part of a health reset. Now I drink wine in moderation, but this is an amazing new product. I've always believed in probiotics. And Z-Biotics, check this out. You drink just one of these. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I am using this and I feel great in the morning. I don't have to worry if I have an extra glass of wine, I still feel great in the morning. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. I've always had acid reflux problems. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. All I know is it works. It is Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. Go to zbiotics.com/politicalvoices or scan the QR code on the screen right now.